아마 그 타이틀 보시면 알겠지만 이 마지막 주제 발표는요. 수업 과정과 과정 중심 평가 학교 수업의 평가 사례를 중심으로 아마 캐나다에서 칼튼 그죠 오타와 뭐 칼튼 디스트릭트 스쿨 보드에서 아마 발표를 해주실 것 같습니다. 자 시작을 하도록 하겠습니다. 시작을 제가 연사 선생님을 잠깐 소개를 해드리도록 하겠습니다. 이번 발표하실 연사 선생님은요, 제니퍼 애덤스, 이렇게 제니퍼 애덤스 선생님을 소개해드릴 거고요. 혹시 플로에 오시면 큰 박수로 환영을 제가 부탁드리겠습니다. 오케이, please, Adams.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Adams, and it's an honor to be here in Korea. Thank you very much. I'm going to be talking to you today about how in Canada and in Ontario and in my school district we are using assessment and evaluation to change and modernize our school system. Before we get started, I'll give you a little bit of a taste of what Ottawa is like. So that's Ottawa. But one thing I didn't show you is the snow and the minus 25 degrees. That's the real Ottawa. It is an honor to be here in Korea with you. And one of the things that I'm very proud of is that we have a lot in common with Korea. We hosted the Winter Olympics in 2010 in Vancouver, and now it's your turn in 2018. And my family is very connected to winter sports. We're downhill skiers and we're cross-country skiers, and I'll be watching Pyeongchang every day in February. Another thing we have in common is the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board and Jeju Island have a great partnership that we have just recently begun. And we have friendship schools that we are creating. We have hosted some of your wonderful teachers in our elementary and high schools. And we have a visiting group of your principals coming to visit our schools. We know that you have a wonderful education system, and I'm very happy that our teachers and our principals can be learning from Korean educators. Thank you for that. I'm going to start off by talking about what assessment and evaluation looks like with the Ontario Ministry of Education. In Canada, we do not have a federal Department of Education. The jurisdiction of education is for each of the provinces. And so Ontario is comprised of 72 school districts. My school district is the 7th largest in the province. The ministry educates approximately 2 million school-age children, and they come from all over the world. We have the Ministry of Education provides all of the funding to the school boards, so all of the school districts get their funding directly from the Ministry of Education, and they also create the policy framework for all school boards. So there's one curriculum that is taught in all the school districts and all of the schools in the province of Ontario. Our ministry on a regular basis creates a new vision statement. And these 4 statements describe what is very important to educators and to society in the province of Ontario. The very first piece is not one that's surprising. We want to achieve excellence. We want our students to walk out of our school systems with high degrees of excellence. Secondly, we have a very significant focus on equity. because we know that some of the learners in our schools, some of the learners in our classrooms come to school in a position where it's going to be harder for them to have those high-level outcomes. So we spend a lot of time thinking about equity and talking about equity, and you'll hear in my presentation, I'll refer to that more, what that looks like. In 2017, we introduced the concept of well-being. In 2009, the Education Act in Ontario was revised to make school boards not only responsible for student achievement, but also well-being. And that was a really different perspective. And we've been working very hard to try to understand what that balance is. What is the balance between student achievement and high levels of student well-being? And I was really interested in listening to the comments that we've heard so far today, because it sounds like Korea is having those same types of conversations. The last focus in our province is the concept of enhancing public confidence. We're very fortunate in Ontario. 95% of school-aged children attend public schools. It's very, very different from the American system. 95% of our children are in our publicly funded schools. But we can't take that for granted. So we work very hard to make sure that parents have confidence in the work that we're doing, and that we can demonstrate that we have high quality schools for their children to attend. I talked about equity, and this is a picture that we use to describe why equity is so important in Ontario. On the far side, we see that there's a fence, and we see children on top of benches looking over the fence to watch the baseball game. But we have many different types of children, and if they all have the same bench, not all of them can access the game. So we like to think of a province where we have different types of supports, and where children need additional supports, we as a school system will make sure that those supports are happening. And it's our teachers and it's our principals that make that happen in our classrooms. Recently, we've taken the conversation about equity one step further, and we've added on a third piece. And the third piece is about bringing down barriers. It's about taking away from the fence and bringing it down. So some of the things that we've done as a province to remove some of the barriers are things like full-day kindergarten. Before it was only half-day. We know that children in poverty need to have publicly accessed learning at very young ages. So that's one example of what we've done. Let's go on to what assessment looks like. And this is large-scale assessment in the province of Ontario. So we have assessments at grade 3 and at grade 6, so roughly 9 years old and 12 years old, in reading, writing, and mathematics. Every child in the province takes those assessments. Same thing in grade 9 for mathematics, and grade 10 for a literacy test. But what's different about these assessments is they're what we call low stakes, because the students are not ranked in any order based on these assessments. And these assessments are not reflected on the report cards. It's really just an additional piece of information for the parents. The parents get the information, but it's not used or scored on their transcripts in any way. Similarly, it's not used to rank schools. The purpose of the assessments are to help us see how we can improve our school system. So for an example, as a director of education, when I see how our schools have done and the range of performance all around the different schools, our schools that have the lowest level of performance, based on that, we give them additional resources. So we provide instructional coaches to come in and help the teachers work on their pedagogy. We provide coaches to go in and work with the principals to really build their capacity for instructional leadership. So we use these results to help us identify schools that are going to need additional support to help their learners reach those very high outcomes. The document on your left is the document that describes, it's a policy document on assessment and evaluation. And I've got the link to it on the bottom of the screen. If you want to have an understanding of what classroom assessment looks like in the province of Ontario, this is the curriculum document that every teacher from kindergarten all the way to grade 12 must follow in their classroom. And it describes things like this. It describes the difference between assessment and evaluation. Assessment is how teachers gather evidence of how children are learning, and they provide feedback to help students grow in their learning. Evaluation is where they come to a judgment. And one of the things that's very different compared to Korean schools is in high school, for example, across the entire province, students in high school, it's a 4-year program, and they take a total of 30 credits. And for each one of those credits or courses, 70% of the final grade is made up based on the classroom work, and 30% of the grade is made up based on the final either exam or demonstration. There is no final at the end of high school exam for entrance into college or university. That doesn't exist. One of the pieces that we're really working on is we have a common provincial report card across the entire province. And at one time, the grades for each of the courses was the first thing that you would see. They have switched the order, and now on page 1, what we highlight first for parents to see is the learning skills and the work habits. Because we really want parents to understand that how their children are developing a sense of responsibility, their ability to organize their work, their ability to work independently, to be collaborative, to take initiative, and to self-regulate, those are the learning skills that will help them not only in school, but all the way through life. We ask our students, and the government asked our students how they felt about assessment and evaluation and how they felt about the Ontario education system. And what our students told the government is that they want a system that highlights individualized learning. They want a system that highlights practical application of their skills. They want to be able to use technology. We're very much a province that is looking to turn to the students to see what they're interested in and how they want to learn. Let's take a look at what that looks like in a school district. And I know many of you are either teachers or principals or education officials. This is the kind of work that I'm doing in my school district. A little bit about my school district. We have 70,000 students. We have 120 elementary schools and 30 high schools. Our students are very, very diverse. They come from all the countries around the world. 21% of the students in my school system speak neither French nor English in their home. They come from hundreds of different countries. So it's a very, very complex and wonderful context that we do our work. Here's something that you know. Canadians love hockey, and you're probably wondering why I'm sharing this with you. We believe that it's a sport that everyone can play. We believe in Canada that every child should be able to learn how to skate. And it doesn't matter whether they're young or whether they're old or whether they have disabilities or whether they come from different countries, we expect every child to be able to learn to skate. And we use that analogy in our classrooms because we also believe that every one of our children can learn if they're provided with the proper supports. So here's some supports that we provide to students or to adults with exceptionalities to be able to skate and to be able to play hockey. Our job in our education systems, and our teachers and our principals work so hard to do this, is to make sure that we provide the support so that every one of our children can be successful. Here's an interesting chart that looks at what we have tried to work very hard in our school district on. And I want you to look over at the axis, the y-axis. We have tried to really make sure that we have worked on instructional practices and pedagogy to make sure that instead of instruction and assessment taking place at the very low levels of knowledge and awareness and comprehension, that we're trying to encourage our teachers to facilitate instruction that gets at the very high level thinking skills. We want students to be on a daily basis to be analyzing information. We want them to be working with each other and synthesizing facts and information. And we want them to be able to have the critical thinking skills to be able to evaluate the information and the things that they're learning every day. On the x-axis, you see that we're trying to move teachers and we're trying to move instruction to go from knowledge being applied in one discipline up across disciplines and then applying what they know into real world unpredictable situations. Very similar to what Yuri was talking about. So we're really trying to push that high level of instruction, and we want the assessment practices to be able to judge that. So what does it look like? We did an activity with our principals, and one of the things that we do spend a lot of time with is we invest in our principals' learning, because the number one task in my school district for a principal is to be an instructional leader. They are the ones that have the vision and the ability to bring all of their teaching staff together to say, this is what instruction will look like in our schools. We bring our principals together a minimum of once a month, and we bring them all into the same room. And a couple of years ago, we did an activity, and we asked our principals, when you walk into your classrooms, because we want our principals out looking and on a daily basis walking into their classrooms and seeing what instruction looks like, we said, what are the strategies that teachers use that you're seeing have the best impact, the biggest impact on quality instruction happening? And this is what they came up with. Right in the middle was the task. And this can be either a learning task or an assessment task. And it's a rich task. It's something that's interesting. It's something that the kids are connected to. There are strict criteria that the children and the teacher working together establish as what would be the success criteria for work on that particular task. We want differentiation. So all the children in the classroom, whether it's a classroom with 5-year-olds or a classroom with 17-year-olds, there should be some different types of activities happening. They shouldn't all be doing the same activity. And then they should be getting very good feedback from each other because they know what those success criteria are, from their teacher. They should be looking and doing some self-assessment. All those things should be happening. And finally, moderation are when teams of teachers sit down and they look at student work. And they have conversations to say, what about this work made it really quality work? And those conversations help them to ensure that their assessment, their evaluation standards are similar, but it also helps them to think about, these are the pieces that were missing in that piece of work. What do I have to do in the classroom to help develop the skills that our students are missing. So this was an activity that our principals in our school district, and we adopted that as our Big Five. We decided as a school district that the 150 principals, all of them, would work on these types of components in their classrooms. So let's take a look at what it looks like. Watch what the students are doing. That gives you an idea of what instruction looks like in my school district. I was going out to do a speaking engagement a year ago, and I sent one of my staff out, and I said, just go to a school and take some pictures, because I want the people that I'm sharing our work with to see on a regular day what does it look like in classrooms, and that gives you an example. So we talked about the idea that co-construction. It's the idea of students actually helping up in their learning with the teacher, and that we're trying to get to the point where we're improving student learning with assessment and evaluation. So let's take a look. One of the things that was a huge challenge in our district as we started to have more progressive assessment and evaluation practices is that our parents were very concerned about the changes away from traditional styles. And so we developed guides for parents. And again, you've got the links on them and you'll have an opportunity to see those. We also developed a template for our teachers to make sure, and you see down the left, the y-axis here, these are all the different types of assessment tasks that the high school teacher used. And you'll notice it's not only tests, it's projects, it's demonstration, it's video performances. So we want our students to be able to demonstrate their learning in a very large and broad variety of strategies. And again, gives you a sense of this. Again, we'll have a link to it. It gives you an idea of how we explain to the teachers. We've been doing some movement lately. And what we have noticed is that the assessment of cognitive skills is not enough, because we know that cognitive skills really have to be combined with non-cognitive or social emotional skills, and that's the movement into the 21st century. So here's a little bit of work that we've been doing. And Yuri talked to us about the OECD, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, except for to say that with the Education 2030, every one of the OECD's major assessments is having a component of social emotional skills. Every one of them. So that makes us think as educators, what's our systems? How are our systems going to be ready for that? I am very fortunate to be the chair of a new study that is going to be taking place in 2019. And it is the Social Emotional Skills Framework, and it will be a study that will take place with between 10 and 12 cities around the world. And Korea, I'm happy to say, is one of the countries that is at the table, and by April we will know finally which of the cities that will be participating. But it's a study that will look at 10-year-olds and 15-year-olds, and it will be a wonderful balance to see what that looks like on a large-scale international assessment compared to the PISA assessments that look at social emotional skills. Now I want to show you how that's impacting the work that we're doing in our school district. We have identified 4 groups of children that we are going to take special close attention to in our schools in the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. We have Indigenous peoples, we have children with special needs, we have children in poverty, and we have English language learners. And we know these students need extra support. And so what does it look like? We've moved to a well-being framework, and we've described in our school district that we're going to focus on physical well-being, cognitive well-being, and social emotional well-being. And so you can see the shift. It's no longer enough just to be thinking about high math marks and high science marks. We want all of our teachers to be thinking of those kinds of things in our classrooms. 5 years ago, we had a very interesting study. We brought a community group together, and it was a combination of some principals and teachers and students, as well as some business leaders and some university people. And they came up with an activity that said, what are the characteristics and skills that we would like every student in our school district, every one of them, leaving with? And this is what they came up with. They came up with 5 characteristics and 5 skills. And those are what we call our OCDSB exit outcomes. And what we're trying to make sure is that every one of our teachers are thinking about. We have these pictures in front of our schools, and this was our back to school slogan this year. When I grow up, I want to be academically diverse. When I grow up, I want to be collaborative. When I grow up, I want to be globally aware. Your future begins at the OCDSB. So this was our back to school campaign. And I'm going to show you a couple of clips that describe what this looks like in our classrooms. This is a teacher who has her course set up to have the final assessment is not an exam. It is an assessment of the student's development of exit outcomes. So here's the teacher describing it. I hope that you'll be able to understand.
So in my classroom this year, we decided to use the exit outcomes as our sort of final summative. I really believe that the curriculum is important, and we covered that throughout the semester, but I also think just as important are these exit outcomes. And I had my students really reflect at the end of the semester on how we actually worked on some of these things, and they had to showcase that at the end in a fair. The characteristics and the skills of the exit outcomes are what our students need in order to survive when they leave our secondary school.
So that gives you a little bit of a taste. So the very last thing I'm going to share with you is how the province is actually changing. So remember we looked at the learning skills? Next year, in all of the schools in Ontario, instead of having the learning skills, we're now going to have transferable skills. And so look at the shift. We're now going to be assessing every teacher in every grade, in every subject, will be assessing the students' abilities for critical thinking, innovation and creativity, self-directed learning, collaboration, communication, and citizenship. So that will be right across the province. How will we know if we're doing a good job? In Ontario, our graduation rate has been growing, but this is the way that I will decide for myself if we've gone in the right direction. We talked about the PISA assessment. One of the things that they measure in the PISA assessments is an equity measure. They measure countries' ability, the gap between the highest performing students and the lowest performing students. And one of the things that I'm very proud of is that Canada is number 5 on that equity piece. How do we get there? We get there by making sure that everyone in our system believes that all students can learn. We get there by ensuring that assessment and evaluation doesn't look at what kids can't do. It helps students demonstrate what they can do. That's what we're doing in the province of Ontario and in the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. Thank you very much.
시간을 정확히 30분을 맞춰주셔서 너무 감사하고요. Thank you for your one short time. 그 다음에 우리 토론 시간을 할 텐데요. 토론은요. down here. 앞으로 토론하실 분 선생님들이 같이 오시면 아마 한 5분 각 선생님들이요. 5분 이내로 토론을 진행하실 거고요. 아까 발표하신 거 들으시고 마음속에 이렇게 질문을 좀 하시겠다고 하신 분은 질문을 하시면 질문할 시간이 아마 한 5분에서 7분 정도는 제가 가질 수 있을 것 같습니다. 그러니까 생각해 주시고요. 네. 우리 스케줄에 보시면 토론 선생님이 박희순 선생님하고요. 김희선 선생님이 수고를 해주실 텐데요. 순서대로 박희순 선생님이 먼저 잠깐 말씀해 주시고요. 계속해서 김희선 선생님께서 토론을 해 주시겠습니다.
네, 안녕하십니까. 제주북초등학교 교장 박희순입니다. 제니퍼 아담스 교육감님 발표 잘 들었습니다. 이 발표를 들으면서 저는 그 평가란 무엇인가라는 본질적인 고민을 하게 되었습니다. 오타와 칼튼의 평가 정책을 오늘 발표하는 이유는 뭔가 우리 제주교육에 시사하는 바가 많다. 그럼 그게 무엇인가? 제주교육에 던지는 화두가 무엇일까를 곰곰이 생각해 보았습니다. 어떤 일을 이제 추진하는 데는 깊은 철학이 필요하다고 생각을 합니다. 그래서 저는 오타와 칼튼 교육청에서 던지고 있는 두 가지 질문을 가지고 오늘 정리를 해볼까 합니다. 첫째는 우리 아이들이 어떤 역량을 학교에서 길러 졸업하기를 바라는가? 라는 질문입니다. 이 질문이 오타와 칼튼 교육청의 평가 정책을 만드는 초석이 되었다고 합니다. 어떤 능력을 길러 졸업을 하는가? 이게 바로 성취 기준입니다. 성취 기준에 대해서 명확히 교사들이 다시 한번 담론을 거쳐 정리를 해야 될 때다. 이렇게 생각을 합니다. 두 번째 질문은 뭐냐면 어떻게 하면 교사들이 더 다양한 학생들을 가르치면서 자신감을 갖고 수업을 하게 할 것인가? 자신이 이를 감당할 능력이 있도록 만들 것인가 하는 교육청의 철학입니다. 이 두 가지, 교사들이 가지고 있는 학생들에게 무엇을 길러 졸업하게 할 것인가라는 질문과 교육청이 가지고 있는 어떻게 하면 교사들이 자신 있게 수업을 하게 할 것인가라는 이 질문이 결국 캐나다 교육의 평가를 성공적으로 이끄는 당당한 교사 철학을 만들었다고 생각을 합니다. 어떻게 당당하냐? 캐나다 오타와 칼튼 교육청의 그 교사들은 정말 직접 가본 선생님들이 말을 들으면 한 명도 빠짐없이 모든 학생들은 성공할 수 있다고 믿고 있다고 합니다. 그리고 학생들이 성장은 내가 책임져야 한다라는 그 생각을 가지고 있고, 그 다음에 성취 기준을 분명히 알고 있고, 그 성취 기준에 따라서 평가를 하기 위해서 진단과 평가를 정말 중시 여긴다고 합니다. 즉 학생의 성장을 정말 기본으로 성장을 놓고 내내 아까 일상이라는 말씀하셨습니다만은 모든 수업뿐만이 아니라 일상 상황에서 내가 어떻게 하면 내가 맡은 아이들을 위해서 내가 맡은 아이들 성장을 도와줄까를 고민하고 있다는 그 교사들의 철학이 성공을 가져오지 않았나 그런 생각을 합니다. 두 번째는 모국어, 즉 국어입니다. 국어와 수학에 대해서는 교육청이 예, 그러면 이제 시간을 줄이기 위해서 나머지 그 국어와 수학에 대해서 정확히 책임지는 교육 부분은 이제 제가 유인물에 적었기 때문에 참고하시고, 그래서 제가 질문 하나 드리겠습니다. 교사들이 그런 철학을 갖게 된 데는 연수 프로그램이 특별하지 않을까라는 생각이 듭니다. 그래서 제가 들은 바로는 학교에서 요청 시 교육청에서는 언제든지 학교를 가서 연수를 하는데 모든 교사가 연수를 하겠다고 하는 경우가 있을 겁니다. 그것도 일과 중에 한다고 들었습니다. 그럴 때, 선생님들이 연수하러 가버리면 모든 반이 비게 될 거 아닙니까? 그런 상황을 어떻게 지원하고 있는지 묻고 싶습니다.
In our school district, we try to ensure that we're all working together on creating that new culture and new vision. So at the district level, we support the idea that learning for all and a combination of both cognitive skill development and social emotional skills. We invest in our principals so that they have an opportunity to have that vision. And then they work with their teachers in their schools, because for teachers to shift to that type of instruction, they need support from their principals and from the education system as well. So it's all of us working together. We do have professional learning that takes place. Lots of resources are available on the Ontario Ministry of Education website. We use a lot of those resources. Sometimes when we release teachers from their classrooms, and we have replacement teachers that come in while our teachers are professionally learning. One of the ways that we support our teachers is that we have created a model of instructional coaches. And that model is that we select a number of teachers from out in our schools to come into the central office and to work for a 3-year period. During that 3-year period, they are assigned out to our schools where we have the students with the highest needs. So remember I talked to you about the provincial assessments? When we see our schools where we have students that are performing very low, we send coaches out to be able to work with the principal and the teachers together to work on pedagogy and how we can support. We provide additional dollars to the school to be able to buy more resources. And we do that in a very strategic way.
자, 계속해서요, 질문을 이어가도록 하겠습니다.
저는 저청중학교에 근무하는 교사 김미선입니다. 아마 그럴 것 같아요. 제가 이 자리에 와서 이렇게 토론자로 오게 된 이유는 현장에서의 목소리를 듣고자 하는 게 아닌가 싶은 생각이 있어서 저는 좀 이렇게 살짝 저의 이야기와 더불어 현장의 이야기를 이야기하면서 캐나다는 어떤가에 대한 질문을 한 가지 정도만 해도 되죠, 선생님? 예, 하려고 합니다. 이제 아까 강연을 들으면서 제가 아주 기분 좋게 들어봤던 얘기는요. 캐나다는 평가를 기반으로 순위를 정하지 않는다. 현장에 있는 저로서는 되게 너무 의외였어요. 그리고 단지 평가는 부모에게 보여주는 정보일 뿐이다. 그리고 학교를 서열화하지 않는다. 평가는 시스템 개선 도구로만 사용한다. 이렇게 말씀을 하시던데요. 현재 저희는 그렇지 않은 것 같습니다. 특히 저희 제주도 교육 같은 경우는 고등학교도 서열화가 되어 있고 현재 대학교도 서열화되어 있는데 내년부터 2015 교육과정에 의하여 저뿐만 아니라 현장에 있는 많은 선생님들은 지필교사의 평가를 줄이고 과정 중심의 평가라는 이름으로 서술, 논술형 평가의 비율이나 수행평가의 비율을 높이려고 하고 있어요. 물론 내년부터 실시가 될 예정입니다. 그리고 고등학교는 또한 내신으로 저희가 이제 가기로 결정이 나 있는 상황에 있어서 네, 이와 같이 나와 있는 상황에 있어서 만약에 현재의 우리의 그 학교 현장에 있어서 보면 과정 중심의 평가를 하라고 했을 때 과목당 학생 수가 많게는 300명이고요. 수업 시수는 제주시 동부지역 같은 경우는 20시간이고요. 행정 업무 있고요. 그렇다면 학생의 성장 과정을 평가하기에 교사의 열정만으로는 너무 힘들지 않을까, 이런 고민이 앞섭니다. 무엇보다도 과정 중심의 평가 속에서 내신이 만들어진다면 그 학부모들이나 학생들이 교사의 평가를 잘 받아들일 수 있을까 하는 그런 질문과 더불어 제가 이제 좀 공부를 좀 해보니까 제가 생각했던 과정 중심의 평가는 좀 오해가 있었던 것 같더라고요. 저도 남들한테는 과정 중심 평가를 한다고 얘기를 했었는데 과정 중심 평가에서 가장 중심이 된 건 피드백이라는 걸 제가 이해를 하게 되었습니다. 아까 피드백 얘기도 말씀을 하시던데 그러면 많은 학생들한테 발전 과정을 피드백을 해준다면 교사는 과연 얼만큼의 열정이 있어야 하나 하는 게 좀 궁금해요. 열정은 저희 제주도교육청 선생님들이 엄청 많으니까 그거는 좀 그렇다 치더라도 제가 고민이 되는 부분에 대해서만 말씀을 좀 드릴게요. 핀란드는 중학교 3학년 때 시험을 치러서 성적이 되지 않은 학생은 1년 동안 재수강을 한다고 하고, 아까 캐나다의 차트를 봤더니 학생이 졸업하는 학생들의 비율이 90%를 넘지 않아서 그 나머지 아이들은 과연 어떨까? 우리나라였다면 학부모들이 이걸 받아들일까? 학교를 못 가, 한 10% 정도는 진학을 하지 못한다면 교사의 평가를 순조롭게 받아들일 수 있을까 하는 의문과 더불어 만약에 그렇게 된다면 캐나다에서는 평가에 대한 교사의 권위와 자율성을 보장해주는 법과 제도가 있는지 그런 거에 대한 질문을 해보고 싶습니다.
Well, that's a very complex question. I think we live in very different education systems and different societies. What I think I've heard is that the vision that you have for your students, both the teachers and the administrators in the room, is that you want your children to be high achievers as well as being well and happy and prepared for the rest of their life. I think that's what we have in common. We have different education systems that are moving to try to get there. I think you asked the question about how do our teachers do that. Our teachers as well have many students and they have a big workload. One of the things that we try to encourage is, again, that idea of school improvement planning as a team. So it's the principal working with a team of teachers together to look at what those practices in the classroom, the instructional practices, and then what kinds of strategies for assessment and evaluation, so that at the end of the day there's collaboration taking place and that the teachers feel supported. It's hard work. It's hard work in our system. We do a lot of work with parents, trying to help parents understand, because we know that teachers get pressure from parents. So it's something that takes a long time, and we're on that journey together.
자, 시간 보니까요, 56분입니다. 그죠? 56분이라서 질문을 저희들이 혹시나 꼭 질문을 하시고 싶으신 분이 아마 혹시나 계셔서 질문 아마 미리 접수가 된 걸로 알고 있는데 질문 혹시나 보여주실래요? 질문이 계시면, 네. 질문이 계신 것 같은데요. 제가 선택하기보다는 혹시나 질문 계시면, 네. 요거를 아마 통역되고 있나요? 아니면 제가 통역되고, you can hear that?
Yes, I can hear it.
네, 오케이. 제가 읽어드릴게요. I can read aloud for the audience. The 캐나다 오타와 교육청 성적표의 현대화는 학생을 서술로 평가할 수 있지만 추상적으로 보이며 우수한 학업 성취는 어떻게 평가할 수 있는가에 대한 질문입니다. 다시 한번 더 읽어드릴까요? 자, 캐나다 오타와 교육청 성적표의 현대화는 학생을 서술로 평가할 수 있지만 추상적으로 보이며 우수한 학업 성취는 어떻게 평가할 수 있는가가 질문입니다. You got it?
That's a very good question, and that's one of the pieces of work that our teachers are doing together, is to understand what those evaluations will need to look like to say what would a high level performance in the area of critical thinking look like in our classrooms, and what would a demonstration of that look like. There will continue to be subject level marks. So the students will continue in grade 12 and in grade 10 and grade 8 to get a mark in mathematics, to get a mark in English language, to get a mark in science. But in addition to that, the teachers must evaluate them on those transferable skills. So how are they collaborating together? How are the students demonstrating that they are creative and innovative? There will be, that is a piece that's coming out starting next year. And if you watch the Ontario Ministry of Education website, you will notice that they will start putting lots and lots of resources to help teachers have a better understanding of how to assess and evaluate. In the district for the last 10 years, we've been doing lots and lots of work to help teachers change the instruction to make sure that the instruction is not low-level, fact-driven, knowledge-based, but moving towards those levels of analysis, synthesis, and higher levels of comprehension. So now the shift is, how do we evaluate those pieces? So it's not brand new, it's an evolution of work that we've been doing for the last decade. But if you watch the ministry website, you'll be able to get a taste of the kinds of resources that will be provided to our teachers across the province.
자, 거기까지일 것 같은데 혹시나 또 질문 시간이 거의 6시가 되고 있습니다. 제가 6시 되면 맞추라는 그 엄명을 받았지만 혹시나 질문 하나만 네, 더 받을까요? 요거요? 아, 오케이. 번역을 잘 해주시죠, 통역을. 아니면 제가 해드려. 초등학교 3학년 엄마입니다. 학기 말 성적표를 받아보면 아이 성적 및 수준을 가늠할 수가 없습니다. 예? 이거 뭐죠? 무슨 말이죠? 예. You understand?
Yes, thank you. I did understand that. So, am I not answering that question? Okay. Okay. So, the question was: is there enough information as a mother of a student in grade 3? Our report card for grade 3 will continue to have a letter grade, an A, B, C, or D for each of the different subject areas. So you as a mother of a grade 3 student will still get a mark on mathematics, a mark on social science, a mark on physical education. In addition to that, you will hear about how your child is doing in collaboration, in critical thinking, in creativity and innovation. So we're not taking away the marks in the different subject areas, we're adding on new information. So you will know more about your child than less about your child.
네, 이어서 말씀드리겠습니다. 지금 하신 질문이 소통이 안 되고 있는 아주 극단적인 예가 아닐까 생각을 학교 현장에서 그렇습니다. 소통이 되기 위해서 첫 번째 해야 될 게 아까 제가 약간 말씀드렸습니다만은 성취 기준에 대한 정확한 이해, 교사의 전문성입니다. 그리고 그 성취 기준, 그 학년에 도달해야 할 성취 기준에 대해서 지금 도교육청에서 실시하고 있는 학급의 담임이 그 반 학부모들에게 교육과정을 설명하는 시스템, 그래서 평가가 이렇게 달라지고 있다는 그런 설명회의 변화가 있으면 저희 학교에서도 이제 초반에는 그런 학부모님들이 있었습니다만은 학급별 설명회를 했더니 아이들에 대해서 지금까지 내가 가졌던 평가관, 내가 했던 그 평가관이 아니라 이러이러한 것들을 배우고 있고 이게 그거로구나 하는 소통이 된 경우가 있습니다. 그래서 가장 중요한 부분은 이제 평가의 성취 기준에 대한 교사의 정확한 이해와 전문성이 필요하고 그것을 학부모들과 소통하는 그런 시스템이 정착이 되면 아까 같은 고민은 사라질 것이라고 생각을 합니다.
네, 여기까지 하겠습니다. 더 이상 하면 선생님들 눈치를 주실 것 같아가지고요. 자, 이게 마지막 세션이고 아마 마지막 세션까지 선생님들 자리를 같이 해주신 거 보니까 아마 교육에 대한 열정은 학생이나 우리 선생님이나 여전히 대단하신 것 같습니다. 자, 우리 마지막 세션이었고요. 제가 이름을 잘 못 외워가지고요. 아까 교육청 제니퍼 애덤스인데 죄송합니다. 제가 잠깐만요. 제가 오타와 칼튼 스쿨보드에서 와주셔가지고 발표해 주신 제니퍼 애덤스 선생님의 큰 박수를 다시 한번 부탁드리고요. 네. 그 다음에 같이 토론을 해주신 우리 선생님들 앞에서 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 그 다음에, 저는 제주대학교 양창용이었습니다. 고맙습니다. 아마 내일까지 좋은 행사가 되었으면 합니다. 감사합니다.